All right, welcome in everyone. So today we're going to do a special reading. So this is going to be a relationship reading. It can be any relationship. So this could be love, it could be a friendship or family member. But I know a lot of you are probably we're drawn to this because of some sort of love situation. So it could be spouse, partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, someone that you have a crush on, or someone that you had a relationship and you're now kind of in separation. So that can run the gamut. And really what we're going to pull the cards on is so this is going to be from the perspective of your person. So this is what they want you to know, is what we're going to ask. What do they want you to know about them or the situation with you that can best help you in the now moment in regards to this relationship? And we're going to do this by zodiac sign. And so I'm going to start with Leos and go Leos, then wrap around to Cancers. But basically, so the sign is going to be the zodiac sign of your person. So I'm going to do Leos first. So if you're connected to a Leo, then you'll want to listen to the Leo. If you're connected to a Scorpio, take a look at the Scorpio. And it's going to be a short reading, but definitely I will put kind of the timestamps below. So if you want to watch all of them, because this will probably end up being a long one, you can kind of fast forward to whatever signs that you want to take a look at. Okay, so again, reminder, this isn't for your sign, but it's for the sign of the person you're connected with. So basically you are all cross watchers tapping in to kind of see what your person wants you to know. Okay, so I have the Romance Angels card. So I know this is really more around love, but again, this can apply to any connection. So if your person's a Leo, let's see what they want you to know. So their card is finances and career. So financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So we could say love life or a factor in your connection. This could, again, be family or friends. So definitely there's a focus on money or work in this connection that you have with this person. And they wanted to call that out. Like, this is leaning more towards they're having some sort of financial issues, but it could also be that you have some financial issues that are causing concern for them. So let's pull a couple cards, tarot cards, to get some more information. So we have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, something's been challenging for some time. So this could be some external factor, or just this has caused a lot of challenge within the relationship for a while. Ten of Cups. I like the 10-10. So I do feel like this is kind of coming to some culmination here. So when we get to the tens in tarot, it means like we're kind of completing a cycle here. This finance and career piece has been really blocking relationship, commitment, or just happiness in general here. And then one more. We have the Fool. Yeah, starting a new path here. Okay, so they're looking to start a new path in some sense here. So maybe they're starting a new career or starting to get in a new line of work, which is impacting their finances. They want to go down a completely different way. So whether it's in regards to something in their life or in the connection here, I'm definitely seeing an end to a cycle. One that's been challenging, but there's a new beginning here. So however that relates to you, I can't say based on the cards here. Maybe I'll just pull one more quick. Six of Swords. Yeah, definitely moving in a better direction. They're moving in a better direction. I feel like they're already starting to. So I don't want to say that they want to start a new beginning with you, but if you are in relationship with them, I do feel like they want to start over, start fresh, go down a new path, and they want things to be easier. So they're going to start to apply whatever change they need to happen to kind of make things easier. All right, and then the Lover's Oracle for you. So this is from them. Deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. So that's the message for you in regards to this connection. So if you're looking for some sort of answer or affirmation here, I think you already know the answer. But you have to do what's right for you. So if this has been too challenging for you as well, and you've been wondering about like moving on, I mean, the Fool and the Six of Swords can be about kind of like moving on from this as well. But this is more around them. Okay, Leos? So that is what your person wanted you to know. So let's move on to Virgos. So if your person is a Virgo, what do they want you to know? Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So I think they're being optimistic about your relationship here. I don't know if there's been issues or something, but definitely I feel like they're kind of trying to be positive. They're trying to bring romance in and kind of shift the connection. But I think as well, they're asking you to stay positive. I kind of hear something like, we're going to get through this. Yes, so look at that. We have the Sun, like that. So there's a lot of positivity here. Ooh, so this could be why. There could have been something that happened in the recent past. Something ended here. Or there was some sort of hurt or betrayal. But I feel like this is, with the Sun next to it though, I feel like this is a good thing. So maybe that's where the positivity is coming in, because something really difficult has finally ended. And also with the Ten of Swords and the Hangman, I feel like finally they're cut free. Like this ending has really freed them of something that has kept them stuck. And so this is good. This is really good energy for Virgo if you're dealing with a Virgo here. I feel like they're freeing themselves from something that has kept them stuck for a while. All right. So the message, surrender. At times we must surrender to the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and it all will work out. Didn't I? Now I can't remember what I said. I think I said it's going to work. It's going to be okay. Look at that. So everything's going to work out. I think you have to surrender right now, and maybe there's this transition period happening. And you kind of have to just right now how this is all going to play out, or kind of getting past. I think you've already gotten past the worst of it, but it's kind of just like you have to surrender to how this is going to unfold. And I don't think you have to do anything. Don't try to apply too much thinking or strategizing in regards to the situation. You just have to just be in the moment, surrender, and let it kind of unfold as it needs to. All right, so that's for those of you dealing with the Virgo. So Libras, if you're dealing with a Libra, well, this one flew out, so I'm going to take out the Fool. So what does your Libra want you to know? Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And you had the Fool. So maybe there's like a new beginning in this connection. And right now, I feel like what they want to focus on and kind of what the best thing is right now is just to approach life in the moment and just have fun. Have fun, be playful, don't be too serious about things, and just enjoy some time together and kind of recapture that flame, or if this is a kind of a new beginning or trying to renew a connection, that's kind of what's going to be the best thing for this right now. So the Fool, oh yeah, look at the Ace of Wands. So passion, fun, adventure, Six of Pearls. Yeah, this is about, so this is for you guys dealing with a Virgo and you're kind of trying to reconnect, or maybe after some separation, you're trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a reunion, or just trying to make it work again. And there's like a new passion. There's new, like, kind of there's a new, like, yeah, lighting the flame, like I said. As exactly what I said about lighting the fire. You have to reignite this connection. So yeah, that's awesome. And then let's get a Lover's Oracle. Okay, this one flew out. Freedom. There's nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. Yeah, freedom, the Fool. Like clear sailing. Okay, like everything's clear right now. Like the past, the past is, that's like letting the past go. And you have the freedom right now to kind of make this whatever you want this to be. So this could be a new person as well, but it could be like someone from the past that you reconnected with and you're starting a new relationship. But yeah, that's amazing energy for those of you dealing with a Libra. All right, let's see, Scorpios. Let's do Scorpios. What do they want you to know? If you're dealing with a Scorpio, children, your love life is being affected by children. Okay, so this could be literally kids that one of you or both of you have that are kind of impacting the relationship. You know, I'm feeling like if that's the case, more of like you coming together and you had kids from different people. Another big thing that's coming up is this card can also mean like your inner child, so childhood trauma. One or both of you has been afflicted by childhood trauma, and you know, again, that's what's causing the kind of resistance or conflict in the relationship. So to really improve the relationship, each one of you has to be willing to do your own independent work on your own stuff, and before you guys can come together and really have a successful connection together. So I would say if both of you are willing to do the work, and it's feeling more independent work, okay? Because the thing is with like couples therapy, if you're not both independently doing your own therapy and doing your own independent work, it's not gonna work as far as the relationship. So again, that's kind of what's coming up for me. So let's get a couple cards. Tarot. Yeah, so we have the Queen of Pentacles. That can refer to the mother as well, this card. So there's something about a nurturing aspect to this, or like mother wounds that are coming up. And then you have the Four of Wands and the Death card. So yeah, there's some sort of huge transformation that has to happen to me internally or regarding family. And this could also be manifesting in the relationship as some sort of ending to like a living arrangement or like a location, or something that we need to build a more stable foundation, which I feel like there hasn't been like a stable foundation that you've been able to then successfully build upon. So something has to end in regards to that. So that can be different things for each of you. So let's see here, the final message from your person, or just in general for you. So this is the card that came out. Deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. So I feel like that's kind of saying you know the answer to this. If you are wondering if this can work, I feel like, again, potentially you already know in your gut. Just because you want to hold on to this for some reason, I'd really dig into like, what's the emotions or the feelings that make that you want to hold on to this. Something I do is really looking at, why do I stay with this person? What makes me love this person? And sometimes when you really look at it like that, you're like, wow, there's really not much. Like there's nothing feasible in the relationship. Like this person, doesn't prioritize me. This person has a lot of baggage. They're not willing to do the work. I love this person, but why do you love this person? Oh, well, sometimes this person can be nice, but I also feel like there's a trend of them kind of not being nice to me a lot. So just something to say, and I'm not leaning towards this isn't going to work, but also the Death card is showing up. So potentially this could also be referring to like this has to end for something more stable and better to come in. All right, Scorpios. All right. Okay, let's move on here. So we have Sagittarians. So if you're dealing with a Sagittarian person, remember this can be male or female or whatever gender you're dealing with here, but forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in the present moment. So some of you, there was some indiscretion or something that happened in the relationship that you haven't been able to let go of. There is a major learning lesson here, and I'm hearing this is a pattern for you. This is like some sort of pattern that is familiar from childhood or just a relationship pattern, which most of the time relational patterns we have do tie back to childhood. This could also, to me, be something that you're carrying forward from the past. That, again, if it's a pattern, it probably happened before. And there's something that you haven't really allowed yourself to not only forgive. I sometimes don't like this whole concept of forgiving, but really working with the emotions around what happened to you. What do those emotions are asking for you to give it, right? Usually when we think of emotions, we actually can look at them like they're their own person or entity. And what are they asking from you? If you're feeling this lack of forgiveness, what is it? Is it because you feel like you want to hold on to this? Because if you don't hold on to it, then it means that they won. That can be a lot of times what people deal with. Like there's this win-lose control thing. Or it's like, I can't forgive because I don't trust people and I don't trust them. So something to dig in here, but this is what's going on for you guys. So they're bringing this up. This person is bringing it up for you as well. So you could flip-flop that, and maybe it's something that they can't get over. And maybe it's from their past. Maybe they had someone that really did them dirty, and they just still continue to maybe even have a block up to commitment now because of what happened in the past. So this is an issue or something that's going on in the relationship that they want to bring up. Let's get a couple tarot. So we have the Queen of Swords, the Eight of Wands, and then the Eight of Swords. So there's definitely this stuck energy. Someone's stuck and they can't get out of. And what I'm seeing here with the swords flanking the Eight of Cups is they really lead with their intellect or their mindset. And so they have a hard time accessing kind of their soul, their higher self. They have a hard time connecting emotionally as well. There's no cups here. So I'm feeling this lack of like emotional availability or them to really go deep emotionally. So they tend to always lead from a swords or from like logic. And I kind of feel that another person is very frustrated by that. And definitely around communication here. This is a block for the progression of the relationship or the relationship to move forward. But there is some sort of communication here that I feel like it's like they have a hard time communicating. I'm also feeling like a throat chakra block here. So this is what they want you to know. So I feel like more or less this is probably them and what they're dealing with, and they want you to know that. It seems like they don't have a problem saying like it is, but it's very unemotional and, but someone too also, it could be you who recently kind of put your foot down and said, you know, I'm putting boundaries up. I'm not dealing with this stuff anymore. And this is what I want. And it's kind of like, and that could be also where there was a recent communication, but I do feel like this person is still not really able to process it, and I still feel like they're stuck. So this could not be a good sign in regards to this specific person. This is the Lover's Oracle that popped out, and this is very short and sweet. Only time will tell. Okay, so I feel like it has something to do with this person who really kind of outlined it, had some clear communication here. Like this to me is a serious conversation that was had. Either this just happened or this is something that has to happen. And you really need to clearly state what you want and need from the relationship and what you're not willing to maybe tolerate if there's some things that are just unhealthy. And then, you know, you're going to see the response to this. And I feel like that's part of what's going to help you figure out in regards to if this is the right relationship or not. All right, Sagittarius. Because, you know, if someone cannot meet your needs and desires, and if they're unwilling to, the relationship isn't going to work out. So, you know, we just have to keep communicating, being our authentic self, asking for what we need. And you know what? They'll show you in their actions. So, all right, moving on to Capricorn. Capricorns. You're dealing with a Capricorn. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So the first thing that popped up for me is either this person or they're calling you out, but there's something that like, I feel like it's for you listening, but it's almost like this person is saying, this could be unconscious or conscious, but it's almost like you have some patterns that you don't respect yourself. So if you allow someone to disrespect you and you continue on, that's not self-respect. So there's some things about your patterns, and I feel that you tend to maybe kind of allow them to cross your boundaries, to disrespect, because obviously if someone's crossing your boundaries, they're disrespecting you. But I feel like that's definitely impacting kind of how they look at you and see you. And I feel like if you shift and really set clear boundaries, start respecting yourself, start saying, you know what, I'm not okay when you do this, or when you treat me like this, or this makes me feel XYZ, and kind of setting those boundaries, and then finally saying, and see how they respond. But again, if it continues, you know what, it's like we can only clearly state our boundaries, clearly state what we need and want a few times, and then it's usually a sign for us that this isn't a healthy relationship for us. So interestingly, this was a similar message to Scorpio. So also, if you're a Scorpio, you might want to take a look at Scorpio as well, if you missed it. Okay, let's see. Oh, Ace of Pentacles. So there is some sort of opportunity here. Eight of Cups and the Eight of Swords. 8-8. Again, Scorpio got the Eight of Swords in the same spot. So I would take a look at what I had to say for Scorpios. But so this Capricorn, actually, was it Scorpio or Sag? I think it was Sag. Sorry. I keep forgetting order here. But either way, there is some sort of opportunity here to get unstuck. So I definitely feel like you're stuck. I'm feeling like you're more stuck, and you're kind of attached to this relationship, and you're holding on to something that isn't good for you. The Eight of Cups usually indicates like walking away from this. So I do feel like there's a potential opportunity, which you probably wouldn't see as an opportunity, but it's almost like the universe is trying to help you make it easy to walk away from this. So, unfortunately for this Capricorn, I think what they want you to know, so this could go another way too, of if this person is in another commitment too, because that's showing you don't have self-respect either if you're having a relationship with someone who's already who's in a different relationship here. So that definitely, even though maybe they don't say it unconsciously, I think it does impact how they see this connection with you. And this could also be an opportunity that they have to walk away. But with the Eight of Swords here, I feel like potentially they miss that and they don't see it. Okay. But that also doesn't mean that they're going to leave the other connection and immediately, want to jump into a deep commitment with you. So there is something here around that, and that's loving yourself first, as well as saying, you need to do what's best for you, and obviously being in a third party isn't. So let's see here. This is your Lover's Oracle that came out. And this says, imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into the light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. Look at that. So this could also just be an indication like they feel like you have a lot of potential and opportunities. And what's interesting is I feel like too, they may be codependent on you or attached, but they also aren't willing to let go of the other thing if this is a third party situation you're dealing with. But I feel like you have a lot of potential right now to expand your life if you walk away from this and are willing to say, this isn't, what I want. I want someone who's single and who has the ability to commit to me. And I do feel like there is some potential for something better for you. So this again is if you're dealing with a Capricorn. Okay, so if you're dealing with an Aquarian, what do they want you to know? Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So this definitely is some sort of trauma. I'm feeling a trauma bond happening between you and this person. I'm also picking up that I need to reference, if you're having an issue with a family member as well, there could be some sort of family dynamics here that require healing. So either way, I feel like this person is saying that this is kind of the stem of what's going on between the two of you. And I think, again, what's required here is you both have to do your own independent work. And you only have control of you. So for you watching, that's your guidance, is to really look at your family ancestral issues or trauma or karma and kind of do your own internal work. And that's the only thing you can do to help kind of resolve these patterns or dynamics going on. Because it does stem from your parents and your ancestors here. Okay. Yeah. This Empress came out. So this is about the maternal line. So this really, the big issue here is stemming from your parent, your mother's side. This could reference also maybe some mother issues going on. Ace of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, a lot of mother energy here. So this could be an issue around your divine feminine energy here. And in the middle is this Knight of Swords, which this is the angry knight. So there's definitely a lot of anger here that is built up that you carry. I also feel like this comes through the line of mom. So it could be the maternal line. It could also be your dad's, the females in the family. So this really is like running through the females in the family. And this is anger, repressed anger, or women that just, maybe it could be either they repress anger, that's how they cope, or they just are outwardly angry. I'm going to get one more card about what's the anger revolved around. Yeah, this is emotional repression. This is the inability to feel. I also feel like there wasn't emotional vulnerability, an environment that was very, emotional. I feel like this is a family who really shuts down their emotions, isn't nurturing, isn't very loving. And that causes a lot of anger and deep hurt and sadness. So this seems to be the family issue. So if this isn't your family, this is your Aquarian. And this is kind of why they are the way they are, and they're calling this out. Okay, let's get a Lover's Oracle. So this is your card. And it says, criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. So, even this knight can also be very critical. A sharp tongue with that sword. So this definitely could be a relationship, and there's a lot of criticizing here, and maybe whether it's you or them, but I kind of feel like maybe you're more criticizing of them because of maybe some of their issues, and maybe you feel substantiating and calling out like they have issues, which we're seeing this, but I feel like, this is similar in their family pattern, is that they have people who are very critical, who lack the emotional, like, love and compassion. So for you to really nurture an environment that's helping them to transform, is you need to approach them in a more loving, nurturing way as well. Also thinking, we need to be careful. I do feel like the card's coming out and saying there is potential to transform this. So I'm not going to say this is unhealthy or not. That's for you to identify. All right, so that's for people that are dealing with Aquarians. So next is Pisces. If you're dealing with a Pisces, what do they want you to know? Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Interesting. We've had a theme here in the last couple zodiac signs. Really pointing to like family, like ancestral stuff that are blocks. And for this individual, they're calling out religious factors. So definitely, you know, someone you're connected to has a past or family that has some sort of religious factors that have played a part in who they are and how they've been programmed or influenced by that. And this is something that I feel like they're really working through. But it also has a huge fact, and maybe they are aware of that, maybe they're not, but their higher self is calling this out to you. So we have the Temperance card, Four of Cups, and the Two of Wands. So I do feel this person, because this is the reason, but they tend to have this kind of, they've been disappointed a lot. I feel like they also don't feel like they're ever good enough. And this stems from their religious upbringing as well. I feel like there's a lot of conflict in like finding who they truly are and their voice here. So they tend to, I feel this like down energy and always feeling maybe a lack of confidence or self-esteem. But there is something about here about making a decision and seeing a new path. And it's like they're not seeing this. But I do feel like here with the cup behind them, and this could be your connection, your relationship with them, but I feel like the universe really brought you to them to help them expand and like see that they can have a whole different world and a whole new life. And they don't have to be tied down to this, and they don't have to live the life that their family or their religion said they have to live. But it is about actively seeing that and making a decision here. But I do feel like there's a lot of spiritual, like divine energy around them and you. So I also feel like the Temperance is kind of, they're asking you to have some patience with them right now, because maybe they're dealing, this is all kind of bubbling up right now at this point for them. All right, let's get a Lover's Oracle here. Okay, there's your card. Beware of what you are projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. Interesting. So I do feel like you guys are a mirror here. So I'd be careful about like trying to set too many rules and regulations or expectations in this relationship, because I feel like that's triggering to them because of their background. But also whatever is showing up and you feel like is an issue, you have to do some inner work as well to kind of look within yourself of what's going on deeply within me that I attracted and manifested this. And there's, you know, dual qualities here. I feel like you both mirror one another's good qualities, but also, you know, maybe more negative or trauma based here. So that's kind of the guidance for you. Okay. All right. That's if you're dealing with a Pisces here. All right. Let's move on to Aries. So if you're dealing with an Aries, what do they want you to know? A message from their higher self. And you saw me shuffle this, but I think well, I took a little break and came back, so I'm starting to record this at a different time, but I think Pisces or Aquarius got the same card. So check out, if you didn't watch the message for them, take a look. If you are an Aries or Aquarius or a Pisces, you'll probably want to listen to that too. But if you're dealing with an Aries, religious factors, your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So there's definitely there's a family influence here. So it could be religion. It doesn't have to be just religion, but it could be some sort of ancestral karma or ancestral tradition. That again can be religion, it can be culture, it could be trauma, but this is influencing how they show up in a relationship, and obviously then impacting your connection with them. And I do feel confusion in this situation. There's like confusion around like their spiritual energy. I feel like they're very disconnected. And they feel lost in general because I don't feel like they have anything that they hold on to. Like for some reason, I feel a lack of faith. I feel a lack of spirituality in some sense. Like I feel like they almost want to dip their toes in it, but yet they don't really fully believe or like really encompass it within their soul, if that makes sense. So that's kind of the base of the message here. So let's see what the tarot has to say. So we have the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands, interesting, and the Knight of Wands. So for some of you, the first thing that popped up here is like, this is like a third part, like there's different parties involved in the situation. So this could be a third party situation where we have two people, and then we have this one person who is the Knight of Wands, who, to me, if I have the Knight of Wands and there's two other people involved of the same gender, to me this person potentially has two people that they're juggling, because the Knight of Wands on a detriment side is uncommittal. They're kind of the one night stander types. They also can be very impulsive. And, you know, if anyone was going to show up as like a cheater or someone who's like two-timing, to me, it'd be the Knight of Wands. So for some of you, if that resonates, this is referring to two different parties that this person is dealing with. I feel like one person, so it could be literally a water sign and a fire sign, okay, that these individuals are. It could also be that one of these people, this person really has more emotional attachment to or loves more, and the other person is more of that Queen of Wands is very attractive and charming, and I feel like they're just really magnetized to this person. But let me get one more for this, because this is an interesting pull here. So Wheel of Fortune, Six of Cups, and the Lovers. Yeah, there's a choice here. It's almost like they're trying to choose between two. There is some sort of divine timing to this where I feel like their time is going to run out being able to keep this all together. But there's an influence here with the past as well. There's something to do with the past. So they could be attached to someone because of their history together. But again, going back to why is this happening, they have some major issues based because of their childhood and how they were grew up, the environment, how they dealt with how they were raised, and there's some sort of strictness potentially to that situation as well. If you're not dealing with a two parties, like if you are aware of this or this doesn't resonate, there's something about someone's very bipolar here. They have like two different sides to them. And in the end, they can't kind of like ground themselves in life. Like they can't keep a job. They don't have a lot of money. They're very impulsive. It's like you have a hard time getting them to be responsible. But there is some sort of, again, going back to a decision here about, you know, and you could be stuck to this person because of your history with them. But I do feel like timing's about up to where it's like, you know, I don't see this person changing, unfortunately. So I think you're going to have to make a decision here about this situation, and do what's right for you. Because I feel like as long as you're with this person's going to just, I don't see them changing again anytime soon here. So if you're waiting around thinking they're going to change, that's a bad reason to stay. Okay, let's pull a Lover's Oracle. You know what? I keep getting drawn to this card, so I'm going to pull it here. There's this card here, the red energy. When it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. Well, isn't that spot on? We talked about a choice, and it says there's no right or wrong, and every choice you make expands. So again, I feel like the universe is just kind of saying, like, I do feel like you have a choice. Every day you have a choice. Like, you have your free will to stay or to leave. And it's like, no matter what you do, there's a reason you made that decision. But there's a reason you came together with this person. And I think this is more of like someone that's going to help you learn some lessons about relationship and love, and maybe what it's not. And I think you're learning what you don't want. But, you know, the choice is yours, right? All you can do is get guidance from this reading, and then take it as you will. Okay? And that's for those of you dealing with an Aries, which we talked about a fire sign, which is Aries is a fire sign, so that makes sense. All right, let's move on. So now we are moving to Taurus. So if you're dealing with a Taurus, what is it they want you to know? So I'm showing you guys, I'm shuffling here in case we get the same card again. Okay, this is a flyer. Okay, love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more attractive. So this is coming from your Tauran, and this is coming from their higher self. So I feel like what it's saying is there is some sort of block in the connection, or you're not getting what you want from them, because I feel like you tend to overgive, or like you don't set. Here's the thing, if you allow someone else to disrespect you, essentially you're disrespecting yourself. You don't have enough respect for yourself to set boundaries and to like kind of say, I don't deserve that, or walk away. So I do feel like there's some connection. This connection, you tend to overgive. I feel like how your dynamic and how you're showing up is kind of like you're overgiving, you're overdoing. I think you're not setting clear boundaries. And I feel like it's unattractive to them, maybe unconsciously, so they're not as, 100% in this. So I feel like the guidance for you is the more you respect yourself and stand up for like, hey, I'm not going to put up with this, or hey, this is what I want in this relationship, and if you're not willing to give it to me, then then I'm not going to be in this relationship. So I don't want to say that don't want you to have the intention of, I'm going to take these actions because I'm trying to manipulate this person to want them to be with me. That's not loving yourself. So that's just more of the same pattern and dynamic that's keeping you stuck in like unhealthy patterns. But also, you're not going to get what you want from relationships if you're stuck in this feeling like you need to manipulate, to control. And you might say, well, I'm not a manipulator, but just what I said, if the first thought was, okay, maybe I need to stand up to them and then they'll want to be with me, that's manipulation. It's I have to tell you that. That's just clear as day. So there's something about learning to love yourself and having self-respect and identifying like, this person isn't respecting me, so I'm not going to put my energy there. there's something there, but that's what they want you to know. And I feel like that's a block in this connection. So I think there's a lesson here, and you needed to obviously hear this. So let's get some tarot cards around it. So you have the King of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Ace of Wands. So I do feel like you're attracting someone here, but again, there's something with the Ace to me that this is new. So I feel like this could be referencing, sorry, I'm just going to clarify. So Justice, yeah. I feel like this is a karmic connection that you're dealing with. I feel like it has been, this person has been kind of like not consistent. It's almost like they're into you and then they're not, or they call you and text you and then they don't. I feel like there's something about them though that on paper you like and it looks good to you. Like they may have a good job, they may have a lot of money, it may be something that's really attractive to you, but to me it's more physical. And with the King of Pentacles, it's not really, you know, they could be charming and they could be attractive because of the Knight of Wands, but I do feel there's something, it's almost like what you think they are, like you see them as this Knight of Pentacles, which they have their shit together, they're responsible, you think they're a good mate for you or a potential spouse, but underneath, this person's really the Knight of Wands. So they're actually, this is like a show. Okay, it's like a mask. Or maybe you're just like you're trying to see something that's not there. Like you're creating a story or a fantasy about this person, even though they're showing you that they're not this, they're the Knight of Wands. So again, this energy is around, they're not really fully in this. They're not someone that's going to commit. They may have commitment issues, or they may just not really see you as the same as you see them. Like maybe you're like, oh, I want, this is someone I would want to marry. And they're really not seeing you as someone they want to marry. So again, this may seem pretty blunt, but it's something you have to know. So again, that's why their behavior is like it is. And I just think you don't want to face it at true value or face value. And that's why this card came out about you need to love yourself, and your self-respect will make you more attractive. Again, I just feel like this person is kind of, it's a karmic situation with the Justice card. And I feel like it's helping you to see your own power and confidence and stand up to people like this. And I do feel like you're manifesting something a lot better. You're manifesting some new situation coming in where there's going to be a lot more passion and connection and chemistry here. And maybe you're also deceiving this, like more of this lust or sexual connection as like, this is real chemistry. But I feel like this was like a karmic situation that they came in. I feel like it's something you had to like had a contract that, again, for learning a lesson, but I do feel like something better is coming in for you. As soon as you kind of are like, nope, this is not what I really want, and kind of kick them to the curb, I do feel like something better is coming in for you. So this is if you're dealing with a Taurus, which would be this person's a Taurus. All right, let's get a message. So there's your card. Look inside yourself. Examine what is causing you to feel this way. Yeah. So I think it's like really examining, like, why am I so attached to this person? Why am I so like almost like obsessed with this person? Or like, why can't I let this person go? Or why do I think that why am I so, maybe you think you're in love with this person. I don't know. But I think there's something that really you need to examine why you're feeling the way you do. if you're feeling a lot of shitty feelings from this person, I mean, that could be just like facing the truth and the reality of the situation. Because if it was a good relationship and a good person for you, they wouldn't make you feel like crap. All right? So hopefully that helps. All right, let's move on. So next is if you're dealing with a Gemini. Dealing with a Gemini, what do they want you to know? Ooh, that was a flyer. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So you could be dealing with a relationship. So this could go either way. So this person could be kind of closed off from you, and you're kind of like, you know, really like there's obviously some connection here, but you feel like they kind of have a block or are kind of like holding back in the connection. I feel like if that's the case, again, they're dealing with their own like mistrust, and it's not you, it's their past. But I feel like they have like a protection, like, you know, like armor up because of they've been hurt in the past. So it's like, I think they're just trying to feel it out slowly to kind of say, is this safe for me? Is this a safe person, relationship? So it could be them. This could also be you, where they're saying, hey, I'm trying to prove to you that, you know, have integrity and I'm honest and you can trust me. So they're asking you to open your heart to them, to the connection. So this could go either way. We have the Queen of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, and the Death card. Ooh, okay. So from the tarot, I feel like this is actually a connection you've been in for a while with the Seven of Pentacles. It could be that you've been in this a long time and you're like, you know, this person is still not, you tell like this person cannot, they have a lot of blocks in their heart chakra, like, and you just, as long as you've been with them, like they should have opened up by now and like realized this is safe. But I feel like they're still like, they just don't feel safe in the world. And I just feel like they don't feel safe. It could be in relationships. It could be if you're dealing with a male, maybe they don't trust women and it stems from some mother issues. But I feel like they see you as someone who's really grounded and nurturing, and like they see you as like a partner. But I just feel like they have a block here. And you could be at a place too where you're contemplating, like you've put a lot of time and energy in this and you're kind of like, you know, is the juice worth the squeeze anymore? But I feel like with the Death card, I feel like potentially like one of you is going to end this, unfortunately, with this Death card. Let me get one more. One more for the Death. The Hermit. Oh, Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. What's going on? Yeah, this is definitely stuck. So I feel like in general, the relationship has been stagnant or stuck. Like you want to grow, you want to, you know, build a life with someone, or you want to, you know, continue to deepen the relationship. But I feel like it's been stagnant for a while. And it just, you feel stuck. Like you've kind of been sitting on the fence, maybe waiting for this person in some aspect. And you're just kind of like, again, like you're at this place of like, maybe I don't want to keep investing in this anymore. I do feel like this person is referring to they do have a lot of heartbreak and heartache going on, and it could be from you, but it could also just be from a relationship in the past or a mother. But there's a lot of that going on here, and that's why I feel like they're basically telling you this is why I am the way I am and how I show up. But honestly, I just, I feel like with the Hermit, this is what the first thing intuitively that came to me is like, as long as you're in this connection, you're almost always going to feel alone. And maybe that's been an issue in this relationship. It's like you always feel like this is a one-sided relationship, and you're kind of lonely in this relationship because they don't know how to show up. So, but I feel like, you know, an ending would be probably good for you if you're dealing with this Gemini. Because I also feel like they're kind of an introvert, hermity type person, and it's almost like they don't want to be alone, but they don't know how to not, like they only know being alone, like that's comforting and comfortable for them, and they don't know how to get out of that. And part of that is changing and transforming, is that they have to face this, whatever this Three of Swords is for them from their past, and they need to do the work. But are they trying to do the work? I guess, you know, you have to answer that question, but I guess that's what they're wanting you to know right now. So let's get a last message here before we go. Oh, you had 2 flyers here. Okay, so the first one, so these are the pictures, the art on the back. So this one says only time will tell. Okay, so makes sense. It's something you have to decide on your own. Again, we talk about free will. We talk about making a decision. Ultimately, like, the divine can give you some guidance here, but you need to decide what's right for you. And, you know, maybe what's right for you right now is to stay for a little bit longer, but that's why I feel like only time will tell. Forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. So, yeah, I think this goes both ways. But since you're the one watching, or if you're watching, you're obviously looking at this message for you're a cross watcher and getting some information about someone you're connected to, which is a Gemini. So I do feel like there's something here about, I feel like there is a lot of history here, but I feel like there's a lot of water under the bridge, if you know what that means. So there's a lot of difficulties and challenges in this relationship that have just continued to like build up. It's almost like nothing's been repaired or fully or changed. But with this card, I feel like there's still a lot of focus on the past and what has happened. And if you feel like you can't let go of the past and move forward, like in a new way, again, that's just a sign that like the relationship will then never change. So there's something here that has to be given. Forgiveness in a sense of, you know, this person has their own past, and that has kind of created who they are right now, or who they are as they've showed up in this connection with you. And I think there's something about not being too angry about it. You had a choice as well. Like, they proved to you who they are. You decided to stay and potentially deal with the consequences of them, and maybe the heartbreak that they've caused you. And at this point, I think you just have to say, you know, what's in our best interest at this point. And I think it's more you. Like, you're not getting what you need. And I just don't think they have the capability, unless they're really showing to you that they are trying to do the inner work to address some of their patterns and things. All right. Okay. Last but not least is Cancer. So if you're dealing with a Cancer, whoa, we had a flyer, so I'm going to just take it while I put these away. Okay, so the card that flew out, so the message from your Cancer is very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So this to me, very soon and coming to you, to me it's like you're waiting for something. So, I mean, I don't want to get your hopes up, but if you're waiting for a Cancer, maybe they could reach out soon. But if you're watching this reading and are just looking for love relationship in general and you're not, maybe you're a Cancer, I feel like something is coming for love and relationship. There's something coming to you soon. So let's get some more information about this. Yep. So this one flew up first. So I have the 9 of Wands. So I do feel like you've had a challenging path or a challenging road for some time now. I feel like when it comes to love and relationships, you're just kind of over it. But if you are here for asking about a Cancer that you're connected with, I feel like they've had a rough path. They've had a rough path, but I think the two of you together, it's been challenging. 5 of Pentacles. So this person could have ghosted you, or the relationship could have ended at some point and you've kind of been in separation. So you kind of feel out in the cold from this person, or they feel out in the cold. One of you feels out in the cold. It could be both of you, really, but and the Magician. So I feel like they're getting their shit together. I'm actually with the Magician. I'm getting a different message about like they're had to have the time to like figure themselves out, get some confidence, build up their life. Kind of there's some things they wanted to kind of manifest in their life to feel like grounded and be ready for a relationship. And it could be around money. There could have been money issues, or that they really were going through some financial difficulties, which also played a part. But I do feel like they are saying their challenges have been either money, financial related, or just generally physically in their life. Just like where they were in their life, they weren't in a good place. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, so I do feel like they are wanting a relationship now. If you are if you're an earth sign, so you could be a Gemini or an earth sign here, which is Taurus, Virgo, and why can't I think of Capricorn? Sorry. I do feel like they do want a relationship now. So they could be coming back and reaching out or trying to get in contact with you. But there is someone here, this Queen of Pentacles, that they want a relationship with. Yeah. They may need to gain the courage or the confidence to reach out again because of your past. Like, it could have ended and been a difficult connection you had in the past, and it's been a while, so they might have to gain some strength to reach out to you. But they definitely have gone through something and overcame it now, and so now I feel like they're just it's time that they're manifesting something. Yeah, 10 of Cups. So they're ready here. Okay. All right. Well, that wraps up the entire zodiac. So if you're still here, hopefully that helped you get some insight in your connection. And if you liked this type of reading, let me know in the comments and I'll do it again. If there's something similar you want or different in regards to love and romance, let me know as well. But yeah, So I will leave everyone with that, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.